Hi everyone, welcome to this knowledge sharing session of pharmacovigilance. In this presentation, we will discuss about the insights and procedures related to pharmacovigilance. Introduction. Pharmacovigilance is the process and science of monitoring the safety of medicines and taking action to reduce the risk and increase the benefits of medicines. It is a key public health function. It is very important aspect of drug safety and is of prime importance for pharmaceutical companies to ensure that the benefits of their product outweigh the risk. Pharmacovigilance is defined by the European Commission as the process and science of monitoring the safety of medicines and taking action to reduce the risk and increase the benefits of medicines. It is made up of two words. Pharmacon means medicinal substance and vigilia means to keep watch. Important milestones in the history of pharmacovigilance. In 1848, a young girl named Hannah died after receiving chloroform as anesthesia. In 1937, many cases of death were reported in USA to the patients who took elixir that contained diethyl glycol as a solvent. In 1938, Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act was established and the public health system was renovated. In 1955, many cases were reported where the use of acetyl salicylic acid was associated with gastrointestinal toxicity. In 1961, major breakthrough in the history of pharmacovigilance occurred after the occurrence of thalidomide tragedy, where pregnant women who were taking thalidomide they gave birth to babies with congenital abnormalities. This led to the structuring of yellow card in the UK, where the reporting of adverse events was made mandatory. In 1965, European legislation was developed. In 1968, World Health Organization program for international drug monitoring was instituted. In 1995, European Medicines Agency was set up. In 2001, Udra Vigilance was funded, and in 2012 new European pharmacovigilance legislation was set up, and in 2017 new format for Udra Vigilance was issued. Important terminologies related to pharmacovigilance. Adverse drug reaction, a response to a medicinal product which is noxious and unintended. Response in this context means that a causal relationship between a medicinal product and an adverse event is at least a reasonable possibility. Adverse event, any untoward medical occurrence in a patient or clinical trial subject administered a medicinal product and which does not necessarily have a causal relationship with this treatment. Causality assessment, the evaluation of the likelihood that a medicine was the causative agent of an observed adverse event in a specific individual. Causality assessment is usually made according to established algorithm. We can understand these terminologies with the help of an example. For example, a person suffered from fever and he took paracetamol. He recovered from his fever but he experienced stomachache and rashes. So there might be a possibility that paracetamol cause stomachache and rashes. So in this case, adverse drug reactions are stomachache and rashes, and the drug in question is paracetamol, and the causality is the likelihood of developing stomachache and rashes because of taking paracetamol. Dechallenge. Dechallenge is the withdrawal of a drug from a patient to observe whether an adverse event continues. If the adverse event continues, this is designated a negative dechallenge and a causal relationship is less likely. Rechallenge. Rechallenge is the reintroduction of the drug to the patient. If the adverse event reappears, this is designated a positive rechallenge and strongly suggests a causal relationship. Signal. Information on a new or known side effect that may be caused by a medicine and is typically generated from more than a single report of a suspected side effect. We can understand the definition of a signal from our previous example, where paracetamol was likely to cause stomach pain and rashes. If more reports of cases showing the causality between paracetamol and stomach pain and rashes appeared or reported, then this drug event pair has the potential to become the signal. Medication error. A medication error is an unintended failure in the drug treatment process that leads to or has the potential to lead to harm to the patient. Pharmacovigilance activities. There are basically 5 important pharmacovigilance activities. First is collecting and managing safety data. Second is looking at the data to detect signals or any new or changing safety issue. Evaluating the data and making decisions with regard to safety issues. Next is proactive risk management to minimize any potential associated risk. And last is acting to protect public health, including regulatory action. Now let's have a look at pharmacovigilance procedures. Adverse event reporting. Pharmaceutical companies are required to have a robust system in place for collecting and documenting adverse event reports associated with their products. These adverse events could include any unexpected or harmful reactions observed in patients using the drugs. Reporting sources may be healthcare professionals, consumers, regulatory authorities, pharmacovigilance centers, or literature. Safety database. Companies maintain a safety database where all the adverse event reports are stored and analyzed. The database is used to track and analyze safety data, allowing the identification of potential safety signals. Examples of database include VG, Argus, etc. Medical literature monitoring. Companies regularly monitor scientific literature and other relevant sources for any information about their product safety, including published case reports, studies, or any other important information. Aggregate reporting. Pharmaceutical companies submit aggregate reports to regulatory authorities at defined intervals, summarizing the safety profile of their products based on the data collected during that period. Various types of safety reports include periodic safety update reports (PSUR), periodic adverse drug experience report (PADR), periodic benefit risk evaluation report (PEBRR), addendum to clinical overview, that is ADCO. Risk management plans. For products with significant risk, companies may develop RMPs to outline strategies for identifying, characterizing, and minimizing the risk throughout the product's life cycle. Signal detection and evaluation. Signal detection involves analyzing the safety data to identify potential safety issues or signals. Once identified, the signals are thoroughly evaluated to determine their significance and potential impact on patient safety. Benefit risk assessment. Companies continuously assess the benefit risk balance of their products. This assessment takes into account both known and potential risks compared to the therapeutic benefits provided by the drug. Regulatory reporting. Pharmacovigilance regulations require pharmaceutical companies to report serious and unexpected adverse events to the relevant regulatory authorities within specific timelines. Communicating with healthcare professionals and patients. Companies are responsible for communicating safety information and updates to healthcare professionals and patients to ensure they are well informed about the safe use of the products. Post-marketing surveillance studies. Companies may conduct additional studies or clinical trials to monitor the safety of their products after they have been approved and are in widespread use. Let's summarize the pharmacovigilance workflow. It starts with the data collection of adverse events from different sources. Then is the data entry in database and case processing. This step is followed by causality assessment and signal detection. Then aggregate reporting to regulatory authorities, and last is the action, that is risk management plan or withdrawal as required. Thank you for your patience. Hope you enjoyed the video.